Alright, yeah. We are about to begin the run with the current world record holder, forzenflygone. Frozen, take it away.
Hi, thank you everyone so much for having me. I am really excited to be here doing the Powerpuff Girls Him and Seek run. I really enjoy this game. I've been routing this game for the past couple of months. We've been making some major improvements along the way. With me, I have another runner of this game, Bean Jammin. You want to say hi, Bean?
Hi, my name is Bean. I also run this game. I believe I'm sitting third place right now of, I think, 5 runners at this point, but It's been a really fun game to pick up and to find as a speed game.
Yeah, so let's get started with the run. The game will begin when I hit new game, so 3, 2, 1, and go. So the theme of this game is that our teacher's asking us to go on a scavenger hunt, and unbeknownst to us, the bad guy, him, has replaced all of our items with stuff around Tokyo Townsville that's gonna make everyone really upset with us. So our first objective is to do 3 levels that each of the girls do individually. So we do Bubbles first, just because she's first on the list and I don't have to menu. So I'll let Bean take over and kind of talk a little bit about the mechanics of the game itself.
Yeah, sure. So you can see with your UI in the upper left of the screen, you have 2 bars. The blue bar is Bubbles' health, and the yellow bar that keeps moving back and forth is her magic bar, your mana bar, whatever you'd like to call it. And that controls all of the interesting mechanics of the game. You can see it slowly deplete as Flygon uses dash, which is just holding the magic button. Flygon will be using that a lot in this level because we can't dash while picking up the animals. That would just be asking too much of one Powerpuff Girl. So she'll be using it while she is not picking up animals to try and get to places as fast as possible. You will see later when we get to some combat that there are some special moves. There are just very simple laser eyes that will take up a quarter of your magic. Each girl has an individual special move that takes half your magic, and if you have all 3 girls with you, which we'll see later in the game, with a full bar of magic, they will do a special move all together that will come in extreme handy when we are trying to go very fast in this game.
Come here, goat. So you can kind of see some time loss happening whenever I get hit because the animals will drop and I have to pick them back up. But otherwise, this is fairly straightforward. Oh, I missed the goat on the left side of the screen. I always forget.
Goats are definitely the weirdest one.
Yeah, this pen has all of them on the left side, which is kind of unusual. Alright, everything's fine.
You'll see later as well that Bubbles is the fastest flying, just baseline movement of the 3 Powerpuff Girls, with Buttercup being the slowest. So we'll definitely be using her for movement as much as possible, and also want to make sure that she doesn't get hit or die, because then we just have to move slower.
Yeah.
So after picking up the world's largest meerkat, we've rounded up all the animals and go tell the zookeeper that we have done his job for him, and he'll let us know that Fuzzy was here, and we need to go to Fuzzy's house and get his banjo from him.
Yep, which really means just punch him a lot, unfortunately. Not very nice of us to go to his house and beat him up, but here we are. This fight is not happening because his hitbox is really terrible. Alright, we're out of here. That was pretty unfortunate, but we're out.
The hitboxes in this game can be pretty amusing, and, frustrating at times, but it's a Game Boy Advance game. You can only ask so much.
What can you do? Honestly, I think this game looks pretty decent for a GBA game. I think it's pretty good. Alright, so there I use my, electricity clap. Oh, she also has this ice move, which you don't want to use because it's actually kind of slow. So that uses half my magic meter, and it really becomes a balance of when do I want to use my magic to dash and when do I want to use it to attack. So yeah.
You'll see coming up at the end of this, the 2 major pickups in the game. There's going to be a health pickup right above Flygon here that she's not going to need because she's at full health right now, and a magic pickup right there inside the cloud that fully restores her MP.
Yep. Oh my god, I did not want to talk to you, dog. I wanted to go through the door. You talk to Ms. Keen, she gives us the chuck, and we have another boss fight with Princess. She's a wannabe Powerpuff Girl, and so she can fly across the screen, which damages you and has her dodge your attacks, which can be really annoying, but that was a pretty good fight.
Really good fight there. So here we are at Buttercup now. What you can see is the slowest flying of the 3 Powerpuff Girls. So we're going to utilize a Death Warp in her IL here. So what we're going to have to do to beat this game is we're going to have to retrieve the Poodle for the mayor. And also you're seeing Flygon pick up these purple crystals from some of the bad guys in the museum. Those crystals are inside of the same bad guys every time. There's 0 RNG in this run.
Yep.
But we're going to have to go all the way through this hallway and then find our way back to tell the mayor that we found his poodle. The way that dying in this game works is that you respawn at the last entrance that you entered that room from. So after going through this whole room, you're seeing Flygon take intentional damage here. We're going to die after collecting all of our collectibles, and it's going to respawn us to the closest elevator in the museum. Otherwise, it's about a 45-second trek back to the front of the museum. But right here, we are good to talk to the museum guard, and we respawn right in front of the elevator that we want to be in front of.
Yeah, and it gives us all of our magic back, so it lets me kind of dash even faster, travel really fast, and that was good because I took the exact amount of hits I needed to. That was a pretty perfect Buttercup. And it was a gold split, and we're back on track. Let's do this.
All right.
Now we have all 3 girls! This is where it really takes off, and the strategy of this game gets really exciting. So you have all 3 girls, you can swap between them at any time. They have their own health and their own magic, and only the lead girl's magic recharges when she is going. And so pretty much you're going to see me... Oh, I spammed too much. You're going to see me use Bubbles a lot because, as being explained earlier, she's the fastest, but sometimes I want to use the other girls for fighting to maintain her health. So yeah. We're out in Tokyo Townsville.
Yeah, as we go through Tokyo Townsville here, we just got to clear out all the bad guys, and you can see sort of the crux of the half mashing, half strategy of combat here.
Yeah.
Of trying to get in as much damage as possible with, the limited animation and possible damage that we can get on the Game Boy Advance here. But you'll see Flygon using a combination of just punching right up close and also magic when she has enough MP there to be able to get as many damage points in as soon as possible.
Yeah, and you also want to try and group up the enemies as much as possible so you can use magic on them and stuff like that. So you have to talk to him, he gives you the chopsticks, and now we have our first really annoying boss fight here. You have to damage each of its eyes individually. So I switched to Buttercup here because you basically have to be inside of the hitbox to do damage. It's very unfortunate. So we kind of just let Buttercup take the brunt of the damage, but I'm going to switch before Buttercup dies because I need them all to be alive. That was a pretty good fight.
Yeah, that's definitely the most frustrating boss in the game, I would say.
Yeah.
Is that there's your magic or the girl's special move magic just does no additional damage there. All you can really do is punch eye individually.
Yep. And you'll see I'll always go clockwise around a screen just because that's the easiest way to sweep for enemies because there's some in the air and some on the ground. And you don't want to miss any of those as you go through, with the exception of I always come down here and get this animal on the way so I don't have to pass it because the end spot here is the disco.
Ooh, all right.
Get hyped for the disco, everyone. It's gonna. Yeah, get your dance emotes in chat. We're gonna have a fun disco.
Dance Revolution.
Yeah.
Get ready for this epic rhythm game, I guess.
Rhythm in quotes. It's one of my favorite parts of the run, extremely ironically. So this is just, pretty similar to the Tokyo Townsville segment, with the exception that it's 2 screens. You have to clear out all the enemies on both screens. The game tracks which enemies you've defeated on the first screen, so you don't have to do it all in one go. A lot of these enemies have pickups, so it's a fairly straightforward segment. But there are a lot of optimizations to be made with the fighting. I mean, these guys have a lot of health, so I try and use my lasers as I approach them and stuff like that. Alright. Welcome to this game. So, have you ever tried to make a rhythm game, but you didn't turn on the music when you were designing it? Welcome to the Powerpuff Girls Disco.
Yeah, there's no lag between what you're seeing and what you're hearing. The inputs just do not line up with the music at all. We're just doing this dance battle where we have some sort of synchronized dance going between the three girls, and Boogeyman is just swaying his hips back and forth.
Yeah, it's pretty silly. And this also goes on for 3 rounds. So if there's anything for the host to read at this time, please do so. Please.
Okay. Well, Anon did just put in a $1 donation, and in all caps said, "For the disco!"
Yes.
So we have that. Let's see here. Otherwise... Sorry, it's
so good.
PR, it's just
know.
like, yo. I understand completely. Oh, let's see here. So, I will say that, in case you didn't know, 40 years ago, childhood cancer survival rate was only 20%. But thanks to treatments invented at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital and donations from viewers like you, that number has actually gone from 20% now to over 80%. So every single dollar matters, and you do so much with as much as you can put in for it.
Awesome, thanks so much. So yeah, the only speed strats to do here are to miss the combo at the end because it takes time to count up the combo, so you want to count it up early, and then to spam A in between the rounds to get past the counting screen. That's it. It's actually kind of a nice break. It's right in the middle of the run in both this and 100%, which I also run. It's just very silly.
Yeah, the bar in order to beat this game is very, very low. There's a game in 100% that requires you to beat a high score in pinball, which is not the greatest pinball game I've ever played, but certainly not the worst either. That one can be a little bit more finicky. But as long as you successfully press the button close enough to 2/3 of the moves, you have beaten that mini game.
Yeah, it's pretty lenient. This is one of the few games actually made in this era that I think is actually balanced for children. There's really no punishment for dying here. It's extremely forgiving, and that's another reason why it's a great speed game. There's no huge time losses really anywhere. It just respawns you in the same place. It's really easy to learn and pick up. And I think the combat and movement systems are really, really actually well done.
Yeah. So here we are. We're untying all of the guards in the jail. They are in the same cells labeled by a letter.
Yep.
Each time you play the game, but they are not in every cell. There's 10 guards total, and you'll see the game lag pretty significantly here. I think because they're assuming that we're going to beat up all of the bad guys, but that is slow.
Yeah, we don't have time for that.
So the game's gonna lag pretty significantly as we try and get out here.
The good thing is you can kind of just dash through the ropes to break them, which is really fast. Oh, I got hit there. That rarely happens. So here's Lag City coming on in as we try and get back to the guard. But the lore is that Mojo Jojo has freed all the prisoners, and now he's running back to his observatory. And so now, my favorite part of the game probably, Mojo Jojo is taken over control of the game, and now we have a Frogger Mojo Jojo minigame. It's honestly kind of epic. It's really fun. The routing is kind of cool. His hitbox is pretty bad, but otherwise, it's a pretty fun time. I really like this minigame, actually. There's 3 screens. The first screen's pretty easy. The second and third screens, the water sections, are fairly difficult.
Yeah, this section definitely took a while to route and find the best way. We're not even sure if this is the fastest way. It's just the way that you don't die every time.
Yeah.
You can see that the submarines will sometimes go underwater, sometimes not.
Yeah.
again, not randomly, but just visually inconsistently.
Yeah.
And the hitbox when moving left and right in the traffic section is very unforgiving, but Flygon has done a very good job. Look easy.
I usually die on the third screen, so that was nice. I liked that.
So here we go into definitely the most fun and speed tech game-breaking part of the game.
Yeah.
Where we're supposed to be going through and picking up all these key cards in Mojo's observatory, which is like 7 or 8
come on,
different loading screens. But if you break open the game and look at it, it's only 3 rooms large. So we are trying to. Bubbles is being incredibly uncooperative.
This clip is not happening right now. Oh my gosh, that was rough.
There you go. The corners of each of these boxes are a little. Their seams are not totally together, so we are able to just clip in and just
there we go.
bypass all but 2 of the key cards and all of the enemies here. So we're just gonna fly past all of the rooms that we're supposed to be going through.
Right there I switched girls because I was checking to see everyone's magic. We want to have one of the girls at least with full magic for the boss fight. And the good thing is Blossom and Buttercup both have it, so I can just stay as Bubbles at the moment. This is the first place we discovered this clip, and then it kind of led us to figuring out how to clip through the rest of this. I have one more shot as Bubbles, then I have to swap.
Oh, yeah, make sure she doesn't die.
These clips are being really mean right now. Okay, here we go. Jeez. I'm gonna be Blossom since Bubbles only has 1 hit on her. Which is not a good place to be, but that's okay. Oh, I think I got that. There we go. Sometimes you can get it flying into it, which feels really great.
Yeah, some of these corners are certainly more lenient than others too.
Yep.
Because it is technically possible to do that at any corner, but we find some of the corners, especially top corners, to be much easier to get than the bottom corners.
Yep. Exactly.
So here in the Jojo fight, we have to beat Mojo's mech suit, which is punching his hand real bad first, and then the head of the suit, and then we will fight Mojo Jojo himself, which would be very easy for us by using that special move that requires all 3 girls that we were talking about earlier here.
Oh, I did it early.
No!
I went early. It's okay. I'm just gonna do that. It's all
we'll
good.
still see 2 of them later in the run.
Yep.
Magic management is certainly the most difficult part of this run as well, I would say.
Yep. Alright, I'm gonna, be risky here and play Bubbles because Bubbles is so much faster and this area is just flying back. The good thing is you can go pretty low to the ground and most enemies cannot hit you all the way at the bottom of the screen. So this isn't like super risky because I know that they can't really hit me as long as I move right to the ground. But I do only have 1 hit left, which is kind of scary.
You got this.
So if you've done everything the story requires, Him's portal opens up right here in town. And now we have this kind of auto-scrollery segment where you have to navigate through this maze. So there are 3 screens total. The first screen you have to go all the way along the bottom, the second screen you go all the way along the top, and then the third screen you kind of wiggle around and follow the spikes. This section was pretty confusing casually as a child because you just get warped back to the beginning a ton if you don't know where you're going, but we've routed it out. And the big obstacles here are you see the fireballs coming out of the lava and the craters that come at you. Those are deterministic. You can always know when they're coming. And there are health pickups in here that I'm going to get for the other 2 girls because I know they're not at full health. And once they have a little bit more health, I'm going to switch to them to try and get all of their magic up. So that was an example of a pickup. That was Chemical X, gives full health, full magic.
I'll also add that Flygon said that she found this section to be confusing casually as a child. I found this section confusing casually as a 24-year-old. So.
Yeah, it's not the best in terms of telling you where to go. It's really not. But we have some new tech discovered here for the Him fight that involves the power moves, so it's really important that I keep all 3 girls alive and that all 3 of them have their full magic meter, which is easy to do because I don't need to dash anywhere. So as long as, you know, I maintain their health, that's the most important piece, we're gonna be fine. And here's a pickup. So yeah, this is another good time for any donations or anything from the host.
All right. So we don't have any actually no, maybe we do. I need to change my screen. Nope, no new donations. However, we do have a couple bid wars I want to mention. First and foremost, we have Doom Eternal, because when I think of Powerpuff Girls, I immediately think of Doom Eternal. You can actually choose which skin our Doom guy wears. Right now, Classic is in the lead, but Ember, Sentinel, and Hot Rod are also options, so I highly recommend putting your donation to one of those if you so choose. Also, for someone like myself that enjoys a randomizer called Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise, we've got 2 donation bid wars going on. One, you can choose the Twin Harp song that we might get to hear during that randomizer. Your options are something from Mario Brothers or something from Donkey Kong. Right now, Mario Brothers is beating Donkey Kong. On the other hand, you can choose what the final boss Zeramus looks like. So the 2 options are a super boss of some kind or a final boss from some kind. Don't know the games, it's completely up to our wonderful sprite makers. But yeah, if you want to choose the final boss or that song, you can put your donations towards them.
Awesome, thanks so much. Sounds awesome, sounds fun. I like Free Enterprise. Alright, here's the him fight. It's pretty simple. You just do special move. Special move. And it hits twice! And we're done! That's the whole fight! We just recently discovered we could do that! That saved us a lot of heckin' time!
Yeah, so initially in the phase 1 there, every attack did the exact same amount of damage. So it didn't matter if it was laser eyes or if it was special attack or if it was punch. So we didn't even think about trying to save our... That's time, by the way. Sorry about
that's
that.
time.
Very, very quickly back on this game to go there.
Yeah.
But yeah, sped right through the final boss there. We didn't have time to explain it, but 2 huge laser eyes will finish off your final boss. I assume that is true for every game.
Yeah, pretty much. That was a really nice run. I had a lot of time save at the end. A few gold splits in there, including the him boss fight with the new tech. You guys got to see the new clips, which have only been discovered within the last month or 2. I really love running this game. If you're interested, I also run other Powerpuff Girls games that I've been routing out. Feel free to talk to me. I find this a really actually great speed run, and more people have been getting interested. So thank you so much to everyone for having me and watching along, and hope I brought you a lot of sugar spice and everything nice today. And thanks, Bean, for being here.
Thank you.